What's going on, MLW Rewind? It's your host, your boy, George Mackay, and I am not here today with my partner in crime, my best friend, Uncle Bobby B, baby. No, unfortunately, he is, not unfortunately, he is setting off on a awesome road trip into Edmonton to watch some wrestling this weekend, so he cannot make it here for that. But I do have a very cool replacement. For her first time actually sitting down with me on MLW Rewind, please help me welcome the future of podcasting, the interview princess, my little girl, Cassie. What's up, mini host?
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, like we say it like we don't see each other every day,
Yeah.
but we do. All right, so we're here to talk some MLW today. And you sat down with me to watch this week's episode of Fusion. You know how much of an MLW fan I am. You're also a fan. We enjoyed Fightland last week where we finally got to see HAMMERSTONE finally capture the MLW Heavyweight Championship. And now this is kind of the fallout from Fightland, but also prepping for the Opera Cup. And our main event, obviously, as everybody already knew, spoilers ahead if you haven't watched it yet, but our main event is Tom Lawler versus Davey Richards, round number 1 of the Opera Cup, the opening match. So this is a great main event, but there's a lot to talk about before the main event. So this starts off with the debut of Tyga Style, Lee Moriarty, as he takes on Calvin Tankman, Heavyweight Hustle. Man, and also there was something pretty cool, and you may want to weigh in on this. Right before this match kicked off, they shared a tweet of Enzo Amore checking out MLW, and apparently Cesar Durant has been very talkative or vocal with Enzo over the last couple weeks, possibly about him maybe coming to MLW. That's unofficial. That was just at the beginning of the episode, but it would be pretty cool to see the real one, as he calls himself, in MLW. I mean, I'm sure he's changed his attitude and landscape from WWE because there was a lot of backstage heat from how he kind of conducted himself. So, you know what? I'm not going to hate him. I mean, I think everybody's due for a second chance, and I think Enzo in MLW would be the right fit. I think it would be pretty cool to see him. What about you?
Yeah, he was probably one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE when he was in it. And yeah, I would love to see him in MLW.
Absolutely. I think that's great too. I think that's great. So let's get into this match though. I mean, what can you say? There was a lot of back and forth. I mean, obviously Tankman being the bigger wrestler, it was a very easy story to be told of Moriarty trying to get the edge on Tankman, but Tankman really having nothing at it. Early on in the match, we saw that awesome shoulder tackle, which sent Moriarty across the ring, which is pretty cool. But then as the match progressed, and this match went for almost 20 minutes, about 17 and change. As the match progressed, Moriarty got his spots. He got Tankman on his back a few times with a couple kicks to the face. That octopus hold was great. And then Tankman, when he broke the armbar or the try on the armbar, he got up and literally punched Moriarty right in the face. And Moriarty just popped right up like it was nothing.
Yeah, it was like nothing.
I loved the no sell from Lee Moriarty. But what can you say? Tankman got a back elbow near the end of the match on Moriarty. And then he did go for the Tankman driver. Moriarty countered it briefly, but then he got caught by Tankman into the Tankman driver for the 1-2-3. Calvin Tankman wins this one, but was a great MLW debut to people who may not know Lee Moriarty. And I know my partner in crime would be missed talking about Tyga Style and how much he missed this match, but he's obviously going to catch the replay on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, Lee Moriarty was very impressive, always impressive, but great to see him in an MLW ring. Now, obviously, this match was pre-recorded. So since this match was pre-recorded, he was assigned or has signed with AEW. So he will be a permanent member of the AEW roster. But this match was an interpromotional fight, if you will, AEW, MLW, and it was great to see Tyga Style in MLW. He also is in the Opera Cup. He is taking on Mad Dog Matt Cross next week in the second round. So that'll be a great match. Hopefully Tyga Style can capture that win and move on a little bit deeper into the Opera Cup. I'd really like to see him take on Alex Shelley, because I know he looks up to Alex Shelley, and Alex Shelley is one of his mentors. So it'd be pretty cool to see Lee Moriarty and Alex Shelley deeper into the Opera Cup face each other. Would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
But what was cool about this match is that at the end of it all, Tankman picks up Moriarty in the corner. A little bit of respect shown. Moriarty raises Tankman's hand, and he leaves the ring. And just as Tankman's about to leave the ring, we get interrupted by Top Team. That's right, King Mo and the Suplex Assassin, our friend Alex Kane.
Yep.
They offer Tankman a spot in Top Team. Alicia's there, says to Tankman, hey, got one question. Are you in or are you out? And Tankman grabs the mic from Alicia, looks right at King Mo in the face and says, I'll think about it.
And it was also pretty shocking because the crowd didn't want it either.
Yeah, the crowd did not want it. They were all like, no, no, no. Tankman just kind of looked around, didn't give an answer, said, I'll think about it, and walked away. Mo and Kane looked a little bit upset that they didn't get an answer, but hopefully next week we will see if he'll be in top team or not. American top team. So you know what? Hey, great way to kick it off. I mean, Alpha has been so epic every week. The last 3 weeks, they progressed so much, and the matches are killer. Cesaro Durant is the booker, the head matchmaker, if you will. He's been absolutely killing it with these matchups. I mean, Calvin Tankman versus Lee Moriarty is easily a pay-per-view caliber fight.
Mm-hmm.
And this kicked off the show. This wasn't even the main event, but it easily, again, I've said this before, it easily could have been the main event. Now we get a media promo from our fearless leader of Contra, Joseph Samael. Hammer has 2 belts in one leg. His ankle is mangled. Fightland was not the end. You cut off one head, 2 grow back. Hammer will pay. The reckoning of the final battle is near. War Chamber is coming. Then we get a Durant promo. Hammer interrupts Durant's phone call, and he opts to vacate. This is breaking news. He vacates the National Openweight title. Says he's always hated the guys that pulled the ladder out from underneath you, and he feels like somebody else deserves this opportunity. Durant tells Hammer to sit so they can talk about their future. Hammer says he can't. So Durant asks him before he leaves if he's ready to face the wrath of Contra. Hammer says anytime, anywhere. Durant says, well, I'll help you pick your team for War Chamber. Hammer says, set it up, but I'll pick my own team. Right after that, we get the ALICIA'S Expose on Cesaro Durant. This was crazy. She's talking about what happened on his final night in Boyle Heights. She's got a video of Durant on the run, goes to his office at Boyle Heights, leaves it in a hurry, and then there's footage of him in Rio, Mexico, all over the world. She's wondering what he's done from then until now, and why has Court Bauer given him all this power? They showed another piece of footage of him on a private phone call, shot kind of hand cam in between a couple of rafters, and all we could really make out was a couple pieces of audio. He's a wolf in the hen house. Mm-hmm. He's going to take his time. Then he knows the camera and he scurries off. Then we get another piece of footage from the final night in Boyle Heights, where there's a mysterious woman going through Durant's now vacated office. She's looking all over the place, shuffling papers, going through drawers. Then she looks up and sees the camera.
And then she throws something at it.
She smashes the camera. We really couldn't make her face. Even if you were to slow it down, you really couldn't make her face. I mean, I'm going to opt to say that it was Selena De La Renta, but that's just too obvious.
Yeah.
Considering what happened to De La Renta, the season finale of MLW last year, or earlier this year. So you know what? I'm not going to make any guesses. I mean, you could say it's Selena De La Renta, but it's too obvious. I don't know who the mystery woman is, but obviously as the weeks progress, we will find out. Now we get to some women's action. That's right, featherweight division. We get Brittany Blake versus Demi Exo. And this was a great match. I loved Blake's speed. I loved Exo's power. And ultimately, though, Exo hits the knee to the stomach or kick to the stomach, hits a pedigree type maneuver, looked very similar to Triple H. I'm not sure what she calls it. And she gets the 1, 2, 3. But the featherweight division, this is the second match they've shown now, and it's in great hands. And right after that, we get a Willow Nightingale promo talking about her win last week and how she's excited for the future of the division. And she is the babe with the power. That's what she tells Alicia. And looking great as she always does. So shout out to Willow Nightingale. Shout out to the ladies of the featherweight division. It was awesome. What's your thought on the women's matches in MLW so far?
I really did like the Blake versus Exo match. It was very good. I like Blake's hair.
Red and black hair, yeah.
Yep.
That's the mini host dream hair.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. But what do you think about the featherweight division so far? What do you think about the ladies and what they're doing and what MLW is doing to showcase women in their product now, which is something that, if I remember correctly from early on, the one thing you said when you watched a couple episodes with me earlier this year, said that was the one thing that was missing was women. And now that it's there, how excited are you for that?
I'm happy with the women that they have on their roster, and it looks that they are pretty talented at what they can do, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Now we get into Osprey. More news about Will Osprey. We already know he's coming to MLW. A lot of news broken about that. A lot of podcasts talking about it. And we know officially now he will appear in December in New York. And that's when we will see Will Osprey in an MLW ring. Could not be more excited. for that. So we get another Hammerstone promo. Kind of looks like he's leaving the building. One of the cameramen asks, hey, Hammer, who's going to be the first to get a shot at the title? Just as Hammer's about to answer, we get a sneak attack from Contra. But Hammer doesn't stop it. No, he actually gets saved by EJ and Duca.
Yep.
And Duca says he's tired of this Contra shit. He's not going to take it anymore. At that point, Hammer says, well, you know what? I need some members on my team for this War Chamber thing. Let's go to Durant's office a little bit later and we'll discuss it. They shake hands, and it looks like Duca is now going to be a part of Hammer's team for this War Chamber fight. What are your thoughts on that? You like Duca? You think he can? I mean, he's just as big as Hammer.
Yeah.
So I think he's a great addition to Hammer's team.
Yeah, I think definitely when they get their whole team together, I think that they might win.
No, you're already putting your money in on that already. I'm not even going to predict it yet.
Well, I think that
The mini host is predicting.
They have two strong guys.
Plus Richard Holiday. He is the most marketable man in sports.
Try out his coffee.
There you go. We're gonna use that as the clip. We're gonna tag Richard in that. So the mini host says, try out Richard Holiday's coffee because it is so dynastic. So now cut the promo like that. Look at the camera, really intense, and say, try Richard Holiday's coffee. It's dynastic. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna step out and you're gonna step in. Here we go. Ready? I'm out.
Try Richard Holiday's coffee. It's dynastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's how we cut promo. So I'm going to tag Richard in that. I'm sure he's going to share it all over the place. Now, obviously, I hope he's probably saying that you're too young to have tried his coffee, but he appreciates your support.
Okay.
I'm sure he does.
Okay.
And I believe she's the most marketable person in all of sports entertainment. That's my opinion. So we also get some updates from the MLW doctor. HAMMERSTONE is 8 weeks away from full recovery on his hairline fracture in his ankle, and Holiday is listed as day-to-day. Now, it's main event time. Davey Richards, Tom Lawler, round 1 of the Opera Cup. This match was incredible. Great back and forth. A lot of submissions. Great round game from both men. My favorite spot was right at the end. And again, spoilers ahead. Davey gets Lawler in an ankle lock for like the 3rd or 4th time in this match, and he's got him on the ground. Double kick to the back. He is wrenching on that ankle. Lawler's dead center of the ring, has nowhere to go. He is literally crawling, trying to get to the ropes. And right before he passes out, he gives the double bird, the double middle finger, and he passes right out in the middle of the ring. Ref stops the match. Davey moves on. Lawler is out of the Opera Cup tournament. But great match. I loved every second of it. And this match went for 20 plus minutes. And I would have to say, correct me if I'm wrong, you've seen a lot of Filthy Tom matches. I think this was his best match against one of his strongest opponents. And I mean, it's no surprise that Davey moved on. It sucks. I love Lawler. I wanted Lawler to move on, but I'm glad that Davey moved on. What are your thoughts on that match?
Probably my favorite part is when he stuck up the middle finger at the crowd and then he immediately passed out. That was probably one of the best parts. But overall, there was a lot of throwing, kicking. It was crazy. Great
ground game, game submissions, all that stuff. Just your typical great wrestling match 101. Again, if I had my own wrestling school, this would be one of those matches that I would show new students on how to tell a perfect story. These two gentlemen knocked it out of the park, and it was a great main event. And you would think that would be the end of the show.
It's not.
It's not. We actually get another Durant vignette, if you will. Oh, we forgot to talk about earlier on how Durant, right after the Hammer and Duca thing, they cut to Durant, and he said he's very disappointed about the expose. He cannot confirm or deny if any of those scandals are true, but he is going to prove he's the ultimate matchmaker later tonight. And now it leads into this. Richard Holiday is entering Durant's office. He's very confused as to why he's there. Durant tells him, hey, I respect the dynasty. And then Richard Holiday goes on to list his accolades, from being the Caribbean champion to being the most dynastic man in sports, to being the most marketable man in sports, to also being the Caribbean champion. Durant says, yes, you are. And I'm also very disappointed that your girlfriend would do an expose like that. Richard Holiday promptly says, I have no girlfriend. What girlfriend do you speak of? Durant says, Alicia Atut. I can't do it in the Spanish accent that he did, but he says it that way. And basically, he's going to make Richard pay for Alicia's expose. That's right. Next week, Richard Holiday will defend the Caribbean Championship against King Muertes. And Richard looks at Durant and tells him, you should prep. Prep to hear from my lawyer / father.
Oh, yeah.
I swear she was watching. I hope she was watching. I love putting her on the spot because you get these kind of reactions. But yeah, he's prepping for his lawyer / father, and then he punches the punching bag, and Richard Holiday storms out looking very undynastic. So what do you think about that match next week? King Mortis, Richard Holiday, unfortunately having to put his Caribbean strap on the line.
You know, I gotta say, I don't know who's gonna win that one, but we'll see.
I unfortunately, considering his ties, King Mortis's ties to Lucha Underground,
Yeah.
and Aztec Underground, I'm gonna say probably Durant's gonna find a way to screw Holiday out of his Caribbean Championship,
Yeah.
and we will have a new Caribbean champion. And that was also revealed a few weeks ago when Battle Riot was being taped. We knew that Richard did lose his title, so not a shocker. But you know, who knows? Maybe the information wasn't 100% correct. And again, you would think this was the end of the show.
It's not.
It's
Why?
not.
It's not.
The cameramen are outside. They're tracking down Injustice. Ivan Reed, Jordan Oliver, they got some words for 5150. They're tired of the sneak attacks. Pay respect to their name. They were doing this shit first. And at that exact moment, 5150 rolls up on Injustice again. They take out Reed. They take out Oliver. They get in Danny Limelight's car, and they speed off as Oliver and Reed lay on the floor in the parking lot, and the camera goes off air. So what can you say about MLW Alpha Fusion, which hasn't already be said? Another amazing night of wrestling. 1 hour and 7 minutes. It easily could have gone longer. I could have had more, but with everything they packed into that hour, it was incredible. I give it an A+. I always do. I love MLW. The good, the bad, the ugly. I love it. And there wasn't a whole lot of bad or ugly this week. It was very enjoyable. The promos were on point. The matches were on fire. Man, Tankman and Moriarty. I almost want to go back upstairs after we're done recording this and watch it again. So what are your thoughts from the matches to the promos to the stories that were told to how they build from week to week? What's your grade for MLW Alpha there, mini host?
An A++.
A++. No better way to do it. So that was pretty quick. I'd say it was about 15, 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, I also want to mention when 5150 interrupted Injustice. When one of the dudes threw Jordan.
Slice Boogie. He threw Jordan Oliver into the parking pole, if you will, the cement pole. And he said, I'll put you in the ground, son.
Yeah.
And then Danny pulls up with the car and says, let's go, let's go. We already told you, bitches. And they just roll out. And it was great to see Danny Limelight doing his thing. Slice Boogie, we love 5150. We've had Danny, interviewed Danny a bunch of times. Had a pleasure of him having him on the show. He is a member of the Straight Talk family, and thank God he is. Because you imagine if he wasn't on our side? Scary. All right, should we shout out the socials real quick?
Yeah.
All right, so mini host, give everyone in the MLW Rewind world your social.
My social is Instagram, and I am the mini host.
Perfect. And you guys can catch us obviously on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. You get MLW Rewind. You get all the Straight Talk conversations. You get all the 5 questions with the mini host. And we got a couple new segments that we're working on as well. So stay tuned for that. But give us a like and subscribe. It literally takes as long to do that as I said it right now. So please help us out. We're at 372 subscribers, 28 away from 400. It'd be awesome to hit that before the end of the year. We work our asses off. We're not perfect. I stumble on my words. She forgets to finish my sentences when she could have said lawyer / father, but she didn't. She screwed it all up. And also our rest of the Straight Talk socials are at _ Straight Talk on Twitter, Straight Talk Wrestling on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And we also have a TikTok, Straight _ Talk _ Wrestling. Got a TikTok. We do some funny videos on there, dad-daughter stuff. This is my PIC, my best friend.
Yep.
Other than Rob. Rob's also my best friend. I could have 2 best friends.
No,
I cannot. Wow.
I also want to mention we have merch. I have a shirt, and my dad has hats, shirts.
You have more than a shirt. You have phone cases. You have bags.
I have a phone case.
Oh my God. Doesn't even check the link. Check out the link. It's in our bio. It's the Spread Shop link in our bio. We also have a couple tees on Pro Wrestling Tees. Anything you guys pay for, we don't get the full pop, but anything you guys buy from us, all the merch that we sell goes right back into the show for guests, equipment, and just being better at what we do, and also letting you know a little bit of us. We're a family that loves wrestling, and we love talking to wrestlers. We love talking about wrestling. Just love wrestling as a whole.
Yep.
And who better to share that with than your kids? And that's the one cool thing about being a dad, is I'm able to pass on my addictions to my kids in the form, the good addictions like wrestling. I don't have any bad addictions, thank God. But the good addictions like wrestling. So yeah, that's it for us. This won't be the last time that you see the mini host. Who knows? Maybe we bring her back in a couple of weeks. Let us know your thoughts. Comment below. And as always, guys, I am your host, your boy George Mackay, and
the mini host.
and peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next time. Peace.